Ladies and gentlemen, your first bout of the night is 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing your first warrior, fighting out of the blue corner. This man's a mixed martial artist making his MMA debut. He stands 179.8 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 66.5 kilograms. Representing SBG Ireland and fighting out of Dublin, Ireland. Give it up for Tommy God Martin. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 1 win and no losses. He stands 180.34 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 66 kilograms. Representing Chris Ree Academy and fighting out of Wales, give it up for Aidan James. Your referee is Aidan Snake Hips Maron.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, kicking things off here at Brave number 13. It is Tommy Gunn Martin taking on Aidan James. Cyrus B is alongside Noel Keefe and Yusuf Nasser on the call. And round one is underway. In the white, that is Aidan James. In the black, Tommy Martin.
Excellent opening bout this evening here in Brave. Two fighters who are very well matched. Both similar styles in fighting here. I'd expected Martin to come out maybe a little faster, maybe mix up his strikes, but he's got to look for that takedown to use his jiu-jitsu.
Of course, coming out of SBG and making his debut is Tommy Martin. He's coming off a couple of losses there in the amateur ranks, but before that, I mean, just reeled off a number of wins. I think everybody looks at Tommy Martin as being one of those incredible prospects to come out of that gym, but Aidan James is definitely no slouch.
Aidan James jumping up in weights for this one, originally fighting at bantamweight. He took this one on short notice and is now fighting at featherweight against Tommy.
I know, but they've maybe brought.
But he seems to be settling in well into this weight.
And Tommy Martin looking really good, kind of taking his position in the center of the cage and dictating the action so far, but looks like these two are really happy just to do a lot of stand-up right now and fill each other out.
Yeah, both fighters just going through the motions here, getting comfortable in the fight. You can see Tommy's probably settled it better, and James is trying to come into it a little bit more, but there's big respect by both fighters here. You know, both of them are very capable on their feet.
Quick hands there by Tommy Martin, who started his career back in 2013, so 5 years on the amateur circuit. That crew at SBG, they allow them to take their time and really get ready before they unload them on the pro scene, and that's a very smart route to go. A lot of times you see guys jump in a little bit too early.
Tommy Martin is one of them guys in the Irish scene that people were always excited when he's on a card. He
Oh,
just
the
steps
big
in.
jab.
Everybody was excited for the pro debut, but as you said, it was right not to rush him, let him get that experience. You can see there as well, James just switching from orthodox to southpaw as well. He can fight seamlessly in both stands.
Nice kick landed there by Martin.
Martin is keeping a nice pressure. He's cutting off the cage beautifully here. Just pawing out that left hand for the range.
Aidan James trying to get a little offense started here as we're about midway through round number one, kicking off this incredible card, Brave 13. The Europe Evolution here in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Aidan has landed that stomp kick a few times to the knee. Seems to be working quite well for him in this one. Wonder if he can develop off that and push off some more offense.
Of course, the list goes on and on for the talent that has come out of SBG. It has turned into one of those elite gyms worldwide. It's not just Ireland anymore, and a big left hand there by Aidan James. He stuck him with that one.
As you can see, Tommy keeps the high pressure as well, trying to get James up against the cage, but Aidan James has just turned it.
Oh, what a beautiful ankle there. He is trying to use that single leg and bring the fight down to the ground. Aidan James, though, wisely gets out of harm's way. Whoa, look at that combination by James. really starting to get his rhythm here, boys.
He's starting to time Tommy as Tommy's coming in. He's just picking him up. Nice fundamentals. Tommy's in on a single again, but Aidan James again does well to slide away.
I think Tommy Martin taking a little bit too much damage here early on and already going for those takedowns, and Aidan James with some great takedown defense. Another big right hand, but here comes Tommy Martin. Can he complete this takedown? James not allowing it.
James working for the underhook.
Looking for a trip with Tommy Martin, but now Aidan James is going to keep Martin up against the cage, and we're 50 seconds left here in round number 1 as these two young prospects throwing down here in the middle of the Brave cage.
James is closing the distance beautifully with his striking there as well. Just coming in with crisp 1-2 combinations. Yeah, he is starting to get his range right and starting to pick Tommy off as he comes in.
Great movement there by Aidan James as the tables have turned here as he's began to find his rhythm and the timing, and right down the middle. And he just has nothing for that straight left from Aidan James. Aidan James going to look for a takedown of his own, and he's going to get it at the horn. My goodness, how about Aidan James? You know, early on in the round. Aidan James coming out of the Chris Reeves Academy, fighting out of Wales. Big time prospect. As we go into round number 2 here, Brave 13, Tommy Martin and Aidan James. We'll see if Tommy Martin can answer back.
You got to take the Aidan James going back to his corner. Confidence is
Oh,
back.
a beautiful combination. There's an answer.
You can see a little bit more urgency as well, and Martin straight away at the start of this second. He looks more on his toes, and
he tried to time that one, but James with a beautiful takedown attempt, and he's underneath the chin. He is trying to turn him. Tommy Martin gets out of trouble for the time being, but here come the elbows from Aidan James. What a great sequence of events there by Aidan James. That takedown defense is fantastic.
he used it as well to his advantage. He almost tied up the choke there as well. Tommy Martin done very well to get out of it, trying to get him back to his full guard here. But James is fighting it, trying to slide back into half guard at least here.
You know, how incredible to have another platform for these young Irish fighters and these up-and-comers and some of the top fighters, of course, we know in our co-main event with Norman Park and Miles Price, for Brave to come here into this region and get some of this great talent.
Again, the UK and the Irish scene, as we said at the top of the show, it is strong. There's a lot of hot prospects and young talented fighters. We're seeing two in here. It's almost a shame that two young talented fighters have to meet so early in their career, but that's MMA. We don't hide the fact. We don't pad careers or records. And as you can see, James is just trying to get into mount, but ends up side control.
The blood is spilled here. Now seems like we got a cut opened up, and it looks like it might be on Tommy Martin, but we'll have to take a closer look to see exactly who's leaking out all that fluid.
I think it's Tommy Martin's left eyebrow that's cut.
It appears so. Now, Yusuf, we talked about that. You know, two young fighters, like you said, you don't really want to see them fight each other at this point, but with Brave, it's never been easy fights with this organization. We throw them right into the deep end, right out of the gate.
Absolutely. It's I always say with Brave, there's no easy fights.
Just looks as well. James might be working on a Kimura on the far side.
James has looked so fantastic, especially going to the ground now. It seems very, very comfortable on top, inside control. But Tommy Martin staying very calm. And, of course, he has his coaches nearly directly in his ear, so that's going to help a bit.
Nice work as well by James. From the knees to the body as well. Just he's working position, and he's just trying to pepper Tommy Martin with some shots. But Martin does well to recover position somewhat. He's looking to stuff the arm maybe here as well.
I believe the blood's actually coming from James because it looked like he leaped right onto him. So we're going to take a look once they get up.
Yeah, it seems to be spilling just as James is getting a bit of pressure. Nice elbows from bottom there by Tommy Martin, active off his back.
You got to watch. You got to be very, very careful with a guy like Tommy Martin, very, very adept on the ground.
Again, it's a submission game fighting out of SBG. You're going to expect that under the tutelage of John Kavanagh. His submission off his back is going to be strong. So Aidan James really has to watch everything he's doing here, because any opportunity, you can be assured the SBG man will snap it up.
Very, very strong performance thus far by Aidan James, dictating nearly this entire fight. James has, and I think a lot of people coming into this fight, you look at Tommy Martin, you look at the SBG name, you look at that amateur career, which was dominant, and you maybe gave him a little bit of an advantage coming in this, but Aidan James here to play spoiler. He's 1-0 as a pro and looking to go 2-0.
And again, it's shown how well versed the mixed martial artist he is here as well, Aidan James. He was winning the exchanges on the feet coming into the second half of the first round, get the takedown. We spent the majority of his second round here with Aidan James in the dominant position, although it is back to full guard now with Tommy Martin, but he's really showcasing all his skills here tonight, Aidan James.
You know, Yusuf, it has to be so deflating for a guy like Tommy Martin to have to stay on his back right now as we edge to the end of the second round. Very, very frustrating for Tommy Martin. He hasn't really been able to enact his game plan at all.
Not at all. It'd be interesting to see what kind of adjustments he makes in the third round.
If we see that same desperation.
Yeah.
But again, we said that at the start of the round as well, Cyrus. We said Tommy came out, he looked like he was more energized, he was trying to put high pressure on, but James took advantage of that and got the takedown. So it's you know, it's a double-edged sword. If you stay standing or if you put too much pressure, you open up the opportunity for the takedown for your opponent.
Well, it looks like Aidan James is just cruising right now, as we got 20 seconds left here in round number 2 here in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Aidan James controlling this opening bout in the featherweight division. Final seconds ticking down. Tommy Martin looking to get a hold of that arm. Oh, nice right hand. Great ground and pound by Aidan James, as he is giving up nothing against the Tommy gun.
But you know, he's shown that Aidan James is very capable on the mat as well. So Tommy might have thought he had an advantage there, but so far it's been Aidan James in the dominant positions.
Yeah, it's been about 50-50 when you take a look at decision wins and finishes for Tommy Martin here. So no quick advantage, and he's going to have to come out here. Looked really good in round 2 when he started off with that combination. Maybe that's going to be the key, keeping it standing and throwing those quick hands. Putting on the pressure, and he's going to go for that takedown again. He really wants the takedown, but I don't know if that's the key here.
Hands clasped, but beautiful. Again, the defense of Aidan James, excellent. Every time he just has balance and strength, he gets the position.
Wow, well done by Tommy Martin, but quickly, Aidan James gets back on top. That was a great reversal.
That's got to be deflating as well for Tommy. He worked so hard for it, and then he got it, and it must have been in his head going, yes, I've got it, and then
he ends
reverse straight away.
Talk about the pressure. You're talking about making your professional debut on a huge show like Brave Combat Federation, and that's a whole lot to take in. Obviously, a lot of friends and family are going to be in the house. And
one thing I'd say about Tommy, though, he's one of the coolest guys in MMA. He doesn't just have the best hair in MMA,
hair, right?
but he's one of the coolest guys as well. And, you know, his monocle as well is the Irish psychopath, so the whole Patrick Bateman thing. So, you know, he has that moment of madness in him. He's going to need a special moment here to pull this one out of the fire.
He's definitely staying busy on his back there as Tommy Martin, but Aidan James has controlled this fight, and he seems to have an answer for anything that Martin throws at him.
Aidan's doing a great job of stopping Tommy's hips, just not letting him create any space to push off and try and get up.
And every time when you see Tommy Martin make an adjustment, he pays the price, and that tax is a shot on top coming down from Aidan James. So every time he just makes that slight adjustment like this, Aidan just hits him a nice little shot, peppers, and gets him back in the position where he wants him. You expect Martin to really try to explode here and try and make something happen. Easier said than done sitting here, of course, but Aidan James is really showcasing excellent top work.
Yeah, there's a reason that Aidan James has been so successful, and you're talking about a guy that literally hasn't lost in the last 7 times he's been inside of a cage. If you count that amateur career, on an absolute tear right now is Aidan James, and he's not letting up, not giving up much at all to Tommy Martin. He's making a big impression here at Brave Combat Federation. Of course, still this evening, you are going to see the Brave Combat Federation Bantamweight Championship. It's going to be contested as Franz Malambo, the challenger, looks to take out the dangerous Stephen Lohman. That is going to be an absolute cracker of a matchup.
If the first fight is anything to go by, we are in for a treat this evening. You can see Tommy Martin, he is trying everything to get in position, but every time, it's like a chess match. Every time he moves a pawn, Aidan James does the exact same thing just to reset him back in that position. But Tommy Martin is trying everything he can here.
A whole lot of action going on here, but credit to Aidan James, he's doing just enough to keep this fight from getting stood up.
Beautiful elbow from the top there as well, and of course in the corner shouting instructions is Brett Johns. So
guy that's
not a bad man.
Incredible success. Wow, Brett Johns has been an absolute phenom in the last 2-3 years.
Here's heavy ground and pound coming down by James now.
Oh, this could be stopped.
Ooh, those right hands are coming fast and furious by Aidan James. He doesn't want a decision victory. He wants to put him away, and he does. There it is, Aidan James. My goodness. Putting an exclamation mark on that victory as he pounds out Tommy Martin in our first bout of Brave 13. Guys, you got to be impressed. You know, it looked like he was just going to blow him all the way there it is, folks. What a big matchup. Let's send it up to Carlos Kramer for the official decision.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to an end at 3 minutes and 53 seconds of the very first third round. Your winner by TKO out of the red corner, Aidan James.
Fantastic win there by Aidan James. Back to well. Big win there by Aidan James. He fought for his way to get on this card.